Hello, Instagram land. I am Christy J. Wooder. I am director, co-producer, co-creator, co-writer, and a bunch of other things for Situationships, the series. Wanted to come on here because I didn't come on yesterday, and the point of me coming on yesterday was to show everybody the binge boxes that were given away this week when you answer some trivia questions. So here is the binge box. It's got stuff in it. I'm not going to show you the stuff, but, you know, the box is pretty large. Like, this is my head and this is the box. So, but the box has goodies from, like, our favorite things on set is what we put in there, some of the cast and crew. We put in there, and there's a little card in there that tells you, like, who different things are from. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to win one. There's only like 5 or 6. And if y'all don't win it, I will keep them because I love them. And, you know, we're always giving away the good stuff instead of keeping it for ourselves. So, but yes, y'all go ahead and pay attention when you see the binge box trivia so you can win one. Can bring you on. You want to come chat, Gerard? Are you available to chat? I don't want to interrupt your homework, but yes, for a few.
I look a bit a bit rough.
Sometimes I miss homework, but then I don't.
Like I gotta redo an assignment.
Everybody doing finals and, you know, the last few weeks of the semester, and I'm like, oh, I kind of miss that, but no.
I don't like school. I'm that type. I don't like school. It is not fun. But I'm going for audio production.
Oh,
and yeah, so I graduate. Yeah, I wish I had talked about it on my Twitter, but I wish I had did this back when I graduated high school. So this is about close to like over 20 years ago. I wish I knew about this school I'm at. And but yeah, I graduate next year in September, so it's just perfect timing. So I just gotta get all this stuff done.
Yes, that's so cool. Like, might as well. I went back. I got my master's in film, and just to add, I minored in film when I graduated, and like you're saying, I graduated 20 years ago this year, and I started my master's degree when I was like 36. So, so like, so it was super late, but I'm glad I did it. You know, because I'm using every single thing I've learned in the past 20 something years, whether it was freelancing or in school, I've used it on situationships. Right. So
man, so when I'm hearing you say that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because the show was really,
and then technology changes, so you kind of got to refresh yourself sometimes, you know, like of what's the new thing and what's the new software. And so when I first started, we were doing tape to tape. There was no digital editing. So
wow.
So it was like, oh, I got to do this now. I got to do, you know, that different stuff. Like audio was on DAT tapes.
Yeah.
When I first started editing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So to have everything on a memory card now is just crazy. Being able to like email your files, and you ain't even got to be in the same room with people to collaborate. It's crazy.
Oh my God. It's so convenient now. Like some of the stuff, like, well, because I'm assuming you probably like at least maybe like, because you got to be at least like 10 years older than me. So, I'm
proud of it.
Okay, no. I was my bad. I'm sorry. I was hesitant because I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful. So, but no, okay. So you're actually the same age as my cousin. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You're the same age as my cousin. So she's my favorite cousin. I don't know if anybody knows that. They might be watching this later on. I'm like, what? But she's my favorite cousin. No, but so basically you and I, we grew up seeing like how technology, at least by like the late 70s, 80s, how it transitioned. So we were able to at least appreciate like the older stuff that most kids don't know about now, or most adults don't know about now. We were able to appreciate stuff like that. So when you mentioned like the tapes and how things, it was like, I kind of remember seeing that before. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
when it comes to recording, I was familiar with like the reel to reel. I was familiar with it. I just knew that we didn't use that stuff anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that we started getting into like tapes, like cassette tapes, recording on like like a 4-track, you know what I'm saying, thing to record or whatever and mix. So, but I like where technology is now. It's like super convenient, super convenient, especially when it comes to working with people. So
Definitely. I like that you can collaborate with people all over the world now and you don't have to take a flight to do any of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said that. It's a song that I released in July with this sister. And she lives here in the States now, but she's from Spain. She's from the Canary Islands. And her mother is Venezuelan, but she lives in the States. I got another homeboy. He's from Mexico. Me and him been doing stuff for like years during like the MySpace days. And I'm trying to see, is there anybody else that I can't think of anybody else that I actually like work with. So, oh no, I worked with a guy from Nigeria recently. He wanted me to hop on, get on a song with him, and he still lives in the motherland. I was like, all right, cool.
Right.
So it's really convenient and it's really beneficial.
Now, we just hopped right in the conversation. I didn't ask you to introduce yourself or who, like some of y'all, if you watch Situationships, you may not know his face, but you know his voice. That I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully, probably.
So introduce yourself and tell people who you are, what you do.
Okay. My name is Gerard Kenneth. I am a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm a producer. I gotta wear all types of hats because of money. But I mix, and I'm actually currently going to school to finish up my degree for audio production or audio engineering. I am a believer. As far as being a Christian is concerned, I am a believer. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Well, I'm a husband first, and then I'm a father. I'm somebody's son. I'm a couple of people's brothers.
I'm all the things.
That's it. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Oh, I like anime. I like Japanese anime. I speak Spanish. So those are little things about me as far as like who I am, what I like to do. That's pretty much it.
I need to learn Spanish. So you're way ahead of me. I need to learn. I took French in school, my silly behind trying to be different.
No, don't feel bad.
I should have taken Spanish.
Don't feel bad. In high school, I actually graduated without taking a foreign language. It was mandatory, but for some reason I managed to, I don't know how that happened. I managed to graduate without taking it. But I actually wanted to learn French. I had a teacher. She was teaching French and I had a crush on her. I was like, oh yeah, I'm finna go learn French. And then for some strange reason, she couldn't teach anymore. And I was like, what? So there's like, oh, you can learn Spanish. And I was like, Spanish? Yuck. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with that? So, but you would think, well, what happened was in my head, I was like, there was nothing relatable to me concerning Spanish culture or whatever, or Latin culture, Hispanic culture. But it was like, but you wanted to learn French. It was like, it was because a chick I liked was teaching it.
Wanted to be able to converse with her in her native tongue.
No. I mean, that wasn't, she just learned it. She's African American. I don't think, unless she was like,
but still, they're a French speaking African country. So,
no, you're right. But she's from Michigan, unless maybe she's like a military brat. That's something I didn't know because she was a teacher. So I didn't know too much about her. I just saw her. It was like, oh, it's Miss So-and-so. All the dudes was like, yo, she a baddie. I was like, yeah, I want to get in that class too. But I didn't start learning Spanish until 2005. I got out of the military, and I've been married before, so this is my second marriage. It's gonna be my last marriage too. But because I ain't getting married, nobody else, ain't no divorce, nothing that happened. I'm sticking with this chick.
Well, does she know that?
Yeah, she knows I'm sticking with her. We ain't going nowhere.
We are not. There was no divorce. Okay.
Yeah, no, but with my ex-wife, yeah. So before all that stuff with my ex-wife, I ended up joining this church that was bilingual, and the reason I joined that church because it was literally because of the music. I heard the music and I was like, "Yo, I've heard this before. This sounds familiar to some other song. I think it was like an Israel Houghton song I heard, and they were singing it in Spanish, and I was like, hey, yo, that sound kind of dope." And then so this is me. I wasn't familiar with any like blackness within, you know what I'm saying? Well, they call it Latinidad, but in Latin, like within like the Latinness and Hispanicness or whatever. So I didn't really know too much about like reggaeton, except for Daddy Yankee at that point in time. I didn't know anything. I was just like, this sounds cool. And so I ended up joining the church later on, and I ended up being on the praise team. And so I had to learn the songs. I didn't know per se what I was singing unless like we had to like majority of the times we would sing the song in English and then we would sing it in Spanish. So I was just singing it, but I kind of didn't know what I was saying. And then I decided I started like studying on my own. And then this lady from the Dominican Republic, one day she was trying to talk to me. I didn't know what she was saying. And she said, you need to go to school. I said, yes, ma'am. So I took some college classes for Spanish, and then I just kept going with it. So that was around like 2006, 2007, and still been like doing it. I don't really talk a lot because even here in Texas, they just look at you and they just automatically think you don't speak Spanish. So I just let them talk.
I don't. In Jersey, everybody thought that I was part Dominican or some kind of. I was like, I've never.
But you know
come
what?
up to me speaking Spanish like I'm supposed to be able to speak it back. I was like, I've
But
never
see,
been.
But the thing with that is that actually makes more sense because you have, you know what I'm saying, you have like Afro Latinos or Afro Latins, right? Or you got your Afro Panamanians and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. They look just like you and me. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't know the difference until they open up their mouth and start talking. Mm-hmm. So that makes a lot of sense. And even in that, they don't have to be quote unquote mixed. Both parents are black. That's just, you know what I'm saying? That stuff I didn't know about until I started studying Spanish and I started learning about the African diaspora. And I was like, oh my God, what did they not teach us in school? I was like, what is this? A lot. So no, but in your case, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I visited the East Coast a few times, and I was like, why was I not born over here? like when I went to Florida, I was like,
them when I open my mouth and then they hear the Southern drawl, and it's like, sorry.
You see the disappointment in their face.
Yeah, they're like. Like I'm the one faking when I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying to me and I can't say nothing back.
That is hilarious. It's only been a few instances where when I spoke Spanish, I didn't have to like tell my life story. They just blah 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 blah. Thank you, and then they kept moving, right? And maybe I can count on my hands, maybe like once or twice where that actually happened. And the other time I spoke Spanish, it's where are you from? From the States. I'm from Michigan. Oh, well, where are your parents from? I'm like, they're from the States too. Oh, so where did you learn Spanish? I'm like, man, why does that matter? Just talk to me. Like, let's just have a regular conversation.
They need to know.
I guess.
You sound like a native. That's what it is. When did you So when did you start singing? Let's get to music.
Yeah. No, yeah. You're right. Because I can do that all day. I started singing at 4 years old.
4?
4, yeah. I still got a lot of work to do with my voice. I've never taken vocal lessons, and I need to, but I just never did. But I got my first real influence was my mother. My mother is a singer still. There's a church she grew up singing it. It's Kojic. It's called Williams Temple. I don't know if many people are familiar with this particular lady, but Williams Temple was affiliated with Dr. Mattie Moss Clark. the Clark sisters' mother. They were affiliated with her, so she would cut records with them. My mom hopped on leading the song in the choir, so she was a lead. My uncle was a lead. I have another uncle that played the drums for them. I have a cousin-in-law that played the guitar. So yeah, but just anyways, since I was 4 years old, that's how I got my start singing. I started then, and then just children's choir. It wasn't nothing too major, just children's choir. But I would just listen to music and was trying to figure out what they were doing and why they were doing it, even at 4. And then when my mother decided to become the children's choir director, she pulled me to we was at the house one day, and she's like, hit this note. She hit the note. Now, granted, my voice was super duper high. You know what I'm saying? So it dropped like 1 billion octaves. And I was up there with I was up there in the Raptors with Mariah Carey and Minnie Riperton if I could. So my voice was really high. Yeah, my voice was really high as a kid. So now you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it changed like a 1 billion octaves lower. So I'm like, geez. No, but she's like, hit this note. And I hit this note, and she's like, okay, you're going to be in the choir with me. And now that I think about it, I don't think she was trying to intentionally have me lead stuff because I'm her son. But there were a few times where I did a lot of leading because it was like, I trust you enough to lead these songs. Here you go. And then, eventually other people came in and they would lead stuff too. So, but yeah, that's how I got my start as far as singing is concerned. As far as songwriting, technically I wrote my first song at 9 years old. I had a crush on this girl she did not like me.
Everything got to do with a girl. Everything is motivated by.
It is, man. It ain't no way around
everything
it. Everything
motivated by women.
It's sad. God help me. But yeah, I had a crush on this girl, and I liked her a lot. And I wrote the most cheesiest song. Had her name in it. It was like, I like you, and I'm in love with you. It was so corny. My cousin, she would make fun of me about it because she would mimic how my voice was, but she added this real annoying nasally sound. I was like, bro, I don't sound like that. But that's my first initial song that I wrote. And then eventually I started writing poetry. So it was just a one-off. Like I wrote the song for the girl. She was like, I don't like you. I was like, okay.
Dang. Dang.
But
have you seen her as an adult? Did you see her like later on in life?
No. As an adult, she still looks good. But truth be told,
does she remember that?
I was like, I don't know. I don't talk to her. Like we're friends on Facebook. I don't talk to her. I know she's married. That's it. But no. What was interesting for me was that I was like, dang. I was like, she's pretty. I dated prettier girls afterwards. I was like, yeah. Who would have knew my life would have been like that? But nah. We were kids, so it was more like the Laura, Steve Urkel. So it made sense. You know what I'm saying? For her to not like me. Because I wasn't this type of dude, even at 9 years old or 10, because I liked her for like a few years. But because we all went to the same school together at one point. And so, I didn't start really songwriting until I was about like 13. For some weird reason, I don't know what happened, but I started writing poetry. I don't know why I started writing poetry. Maybe I was in some English class and it's like, let's write poetry. And I was like, I don't know. I was just like, oh, this is dope. And I started writing poetry. I started writing things. I was trying to figure out myself. And a good friend of mine, he's a singer as well. He looked at my poetry one time. He was like, dude, this could be a song. And I was like, you think so? And he was like, yeah. He like grabbed my lyrics and was making up something, some type of melody. I was 13. I don't remember what he did. But I was like, yo, I could probably really start writing songs for real. So we would write little songs and stuff like that. And it ended up being me, him, 2 other dudes. By this time, we're in like high school. And this is so corny. We end up I know you're gonna judge me in your heart. So we end up no, because I'm gonna tell you the name of the group. It was so dope. I was like, yo, had we got put on, oh man, nobody would never forget us. But the name of the group was called Wet. And so we were saying some really direct yes. I was like, y'all gonna judge me. So
Y'all mannish.
We were. Sure were. No, but it was, I was the one that came up with it, but it meant we're entertaining them. I was like, oh, that's dope. We're gonna make this work.
Ain't nobody gonna think that. You trying to
Yo, it was cool. We were kids. It was like, yo, we understood that it was a double
I'm expecting
entendre.
y'all to come out looking like some black Chippendales and
No.
doing the
was
grind on the floor.
Yeah. We was on some H-Town, Jodeci, Drew Hill. We weren't really into like Boyz II Men like that. We was on like some Silk, Jagged Edge, some type of cuts. We was on that. And so it didn't work out. We ended up changing our name and it got real corny and then the group broke up. And I still kept doing music. I started producing at 15. My homeboy, the same dude, he gave me this program for the PlayStation, and it's called MTV Music Generator. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading poetry is also song. No, you're right. So, but it was a program, it was a video game called MTV Music Generator for the PlayStation 1. And so I like computers. I would like mess with different programs and stuff like that. So my homeboy, the same dude that looked at my lyrics and was like, yo, you can write songs. He gave me the program. He's like, yo, I got this game. Excuse me. He said, I got this game, but I can't do nothing with it. I don't know how to figure it out. He's like, you smart. You can figure it out. Here, take it. I was like, what is this? And he's like, man, just figure it out. So I figured it out, and I started making music. And that was my first step in making music. I was like, I think I can do this too. Okay, cool.
I can do it all.
And so now at this point, because that was at 15. Now fast forward 2 years later after that, I'm like, 17. There's a brother at the church. He died. His name was Brother Albert. That man, that was a singing Negro. I was like, this dude's voice is amazing. And he's the one that got me, kind of like introduced me to like being in the studio. So there was like, that's when like being in the studio, like some sort of studio, that bug really, really hit me. I was like, oh, I can really do this too. Oh, this is cool. And so he let me record a song, and I had got kind of like a general idea about I forgot the guy's name. It was this one dude, I forgot his name, little somebody that Jermaine Dupri was producing back in like 2001. The song was called I Got You. I remember that. The song is called I Got You. And I made a beat similar to that because I love the beat. I was like, I can make something similar to that. And then I ended up making other music because it was a mix between like R&B and like just gospel. So I was at that age, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do as an artist. Mm-hmm. And so I did that. Fast forward, I'm in the military now. And I'm about like 19. No, psych, I'm lying. Yeah, 19. And I'm stationed in Korea, and I'm walking past this dude, and he's making beats. But it's not the type of stuff that I hear. It's like trance music. It's this black dude. Actually, I think he's Panamanian now that I think about it. No, he's Jamaican. Yeah, he's Jamaican. He's Jamaican, but he's a DJ out in Houston. He still lives in Houston. So I'm in Korea. I'm in my barracks, and I walk past, and he's just making these beats. And I was like, yo, what are you doing? What is this? What program is this? And at this time, this program, it's called FL Studio now, but it's called Fruity Loops back then. And so, yeah.
Oh, the MTV thing?
Yeah. Okay. A lot of us, like from the early 2000s, 2001, we were really familiar with that program. And then, so my man, he was like, yo, with Fruity Loops, but with MTV Music Generator.
Okay.
Like a lot of us got to start off of that, and then some of us like segued into or went or led into Fruity Loops. So he told me about Fruity Loops, and I was like, all right. So I sat there and looked at it, and I was just struggling. I'm like, how does this work? I have all these ideas in my head, and it's not coming out the way I wanted it to come out. And I was like, I don't like this program. I don't want to do this. I'll figure out something else. I'll just do it the traditional way. I already had a DAW. I had like this recording program called Cool Edit Pro. I had a little rinky-dink keyboard. I was like, I'll just record it that way. Kind of like traditionally how most musicians would do it. I was like, I'm just going to record it like that, like record on Pro Tools and just record everything live. But I was like, no, I'm going to figure it out. So I went back to my homeboy. And so I was like, bro, I'm struggling. And he was like, just keep working at it. That's all he could tell me. He said, just keep working at it. He said, eventually you're going to understand how to make this work the way you want it to work for your sound. And I listened to him, and I kept getting better and kept getting better, and was listening to other stuff and kept getting better because I was really more so influenced by neo soul. So I kept trying to make stuff that was neo soul like, and it was really hard. But I mean, I can do it now. It took some years. So, by that time, I'm out the military. I'm trying to figure out life. Now I'm being introduced to like Spanish music. Now I'm being introduced because I grew up listening to gospel and R&B. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much it. Gospel, R&B, neo soul, all that incorporated hip hop as well. That was it. And then by the time I joined this church, I'm learning Spanish. Now I'm being introduced to like salsa, merengue, bachata, like that stuff. And I'm just like, yo, this is kind of dope. I might be able to sing this stuff in Spanish too. So it was just me just trying things and just having fun with it. So anyways, that's pretty much it. In a nutshell, I gave you all the stuff without you asking me like a billion questions.
From the age of 4 to military. When did you get out of the military?
I got out in 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay, like
so how did you okay, let me tell y'all the Gerard had sent me some stuff for situationships, right? He sent me some things, but also Selah with this magical thumb drive he had had some stuff that you were featured on, or that was yours and you were featured on, sort of the Soul City stuff too. So it was like some of it was your stuff, and then some was Soul City, and you were featured. And so, so I heard this song called Fairy Tales, and decided to make that like an epic portion of one of people's favorite episodes of the series.
That was episode 3. I ain't gonna forget that. Yeah. Well, I was mad looking at it. I was like, I've been through that. That was the drive of shame. Going back home? Oh, that sucked.
Right. That was my first question. Like, how did you feel? Because I don't think, did I send you anything before we aired? Did I send you a clip or like a rough draft or anything?
No. Okay. I was just like a regular audience watcher. I didn't know.
So how did you feel like when you watched it? I'm always like interested to know how we use your music, you know, like how you felt about it when you were watching it.
My initial thought was, poof. I was like, yo, that's dope. And it fit so perfectly with it. I didn't think that was going to happen because truth be told, I did the song 2 years ago, and then I don't know what I did with it. I don't know if I deleted it. I don't know if I deleted the session. I had nothing of the song. I remember asking him, yo, can you redo your vocals? And he was like, yeah. And then I just lost the music. I was like, I don't know what happened to it. So then when I saw it, I was like, okay, cool. Because I actually sent you something else. And he was like, well, I got this other song. And I was like, what other song do you have? I have Fairy Tales.
He was like, I forgot about that song.
I did. I was like, I forgot about that song because I lost the session. I lost the beat. I lost everything. And I was like, bro, what in the world? So when I actually saw it, I was like, yo, this fits perfectly. And I thought it was so cool. I was posting it. I was telling my friends about it. I tweeted a few times on Twitter. I posted on Facebook. I don't think I did anything on IG. I should have. I still might. I think I'm gonna do that right after I get off with you. Just for the sake of doing it.
And I want to thank you for all the reposting and stuff. So I appreciate all the social media support and stuff. So, but yeah, it was like, I mean, we had hundreds of submissions, hundreds of pieces of music to go through. Because people were sending us like Dropbox folders full of music, and stuff. So, and just
Oh, wow.
producers, artists, and stuff. And it was like I just kept coming back to this song, and I was just like, I have to put this song somewhere. And so I edited the series as well. So when I'm editing, I was like, I'm gonna edit to
Okay.
this song. Like I need this song to be. This is how, because we were like, I said before we even started shooting, I was like, I want each episode to end with like a song, like back in the
Oh,
90s, that was a thing. Like every song
yeah.
would end, and sort of like that New York undercover vibe, where the Natalie session was the
Yeah.
end, and that the credits
Yeah.
ran while you listen to this remake, of some old music or whatever. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is how episode 3 is gonna end. Now I just got to edit to it.
Wow.
I don't know what's gonna happen in the episode, like how I'm gonna edit it, but this song needs to be at the end of it. I think it was one of the first pieces I actually put down on the edit, because I was just like, I know this is going at the end, so that was one of the first, like, of the 8, ending songs chosen, and
Wow.
and so yeah, it was on that thumb drive, and so I was like, when you told me that you didn't even, he was like, I don't remember, I forgot about that song. I was like, dang it.
I did.
I was like, he ain't gonna want us to use it, cause
No, I did. No, I forgot about it. It was just kind of like as a songwriter, like you're always writing something, making something, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not the type, I really don't make a lot of music in comparison to other people, because like I have to make the beat, I have to write the lyrics, and then I got to mix. So I don't be really like, oh man, I make 4 beats a day. Like that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
and
so
that's
much
how I
work.
found out that you were a producer, because I was like, who's the producer on there? And you was like, me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was all me.
Yeah, and that was actually one of my simplest productions, to be honest with you. It wasn't a lot of stuff going on with it. Some of it I was trying to emulate. Well, I guess I was trying to emulate what's going on now with R&B, with like the lo-fi sound.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up listening to like Ben Tankard. You know what I'm saying? He's like a gospel jazz pianist. So there were certain things like when you hear dun 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 dun, that was something I would hear whenever I heard him play. It was a certain way he would play, and I always, as a kid, I thought it was dope. So I was like, I'm gonna implement that into this song, because it was almost like I want that instrument to say something too. But yeah, man, it's I'm still shocked, truth be told. Cause like I'm more so shocked because I was like the way it played out. Cause I saw with the conversation with the main character and the story that he was involved with. I'm looking and I'm like, I was already involved, like invested in the show. So I'm like, man, this sucks. Oh man, poor dude. Oh man, I already been through that before. I know it. Oh, I heard that conversation. I've heard that before. And then when the song was played on the long ride home, I was like, bruh. I was like, first I was like, yo, I've been through that before. That drive home of shame, like, bro, I feel like boo boo boo. And then now my song that I made is like conveying how the character felt. I was like, that's really dope. And to be honest with you, for a long time I was trying to figure out, I was like, I want my music on a show or something like that. Like I did some music for a sister, and it's on there, but it was just like they just needed it just to do so. But as far as like me making music and me singing on it, having lyrics, you know what I mean? I always wanted to hear how that would sound on somebody else's like movie or TV show or something. So when it happened, I was like, it gave me it really encouraged me. That's the best way to say it. Because I was gonna say something weird now, but it really encouraged me. Like, yo, I can actually basically, oh, I can do this too. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you like, I'm the type, and I think a lot of us we deal with this to some capacity, where like I compare myself to like mainstream people. It's like, but everybody knows these mainstream people, so of course you're gonna get like 150, 300% support, right? That makes sense. People gonna be like, oh, this dude can't miss when they're in production or making a song or whatever. So of course, it's like just about anything they make is gonna be gold. But then I'm like, man, it would be nice to see something like that with one of my songs. You know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of cool. So, but when it happened, I was like, oh, I can do this. I can actually make music. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, like being on stage and or having people really trying to in reference, at least just outside of the song, in reference to any of my music, they ain't got to be like, oh man, I don't know about this song. I don't know, the album cover looks weird. I don't want to listen to it. No, they just heard the song in the scene and it played into the emotion of the scene. I was like, oh, this is dope. I can do stuff like this. I can make music to where it'll fit something like that. So it really encouraged me.
Good.
It encouraged me.
Yes. And then so how did you said your friends were you were sharing it with your friends. How did your friends react when they watched?
They didn't say too much. They was like, that's what's up, cool. That's it. I mean I don't know what else they would say, because we're always like praising each other anyways. Like, yo, I got this track. Yo, bro, you killed it. You got it. Because that's what we're going to do. Not just for the sake of we're friends, but it's like, no, that was dope. But then going backtracking to being our friend, like, no, we're going to support you. Or we're going to be like, yo, you need to fix this. Or da-da-da-da-da. But
right.
like, as far as like my circle, it was just like, yo, okay, that's pretty cool. And then we just on to the next thing, trying to figure out life. That's pretty much it. So
right.
outside of that, posting it elsewhere, it was just like, you know how social media is when you're not in a certain position or you're not in some limelight. They look at it, you know they're looking at it, and then they move on. What else can you do? Nothing.
Right. Right.
So that's that. Yeah.
And then, like I said, you had submitted some stuff, and there were a lot of people that submitted stuff, and it was just like it literally came down to the edit, like what fit, like what I didn't have to question, what I didn't have to go back and forth with and stuff. So my fellow music supervisor KJ, she had to do some tie breaking for me a lot of times because I was like, I like them both, but Fairy Tales was instant. Like we ain't even had to question that one. That's going in episode 3. Period. It was like there's no question. And then in episode 6 we use Break Your Heart.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh man. Shout out
that
to
was
Prep.
one I went back and forth about, but it was like the way, because they were voting on something else. I ended up making an executive decision, but I was just like,
yeah, because he ended up meeting some other shorty, and she was trying to see what was good, and he was like, he was from he was I've been in all those spots. Like, man, you would think that he was telling my life story. So this was the next shorty. He was like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't looking for nothing. I was like, God, dog. Yeah. Break your heart. Man. Yeah.
Because that one I used, I think I faded it in at the end. So it was like when you heard that come up, it was how did you feel then for that one?
I was just as shocked because like it made sense. Like one side of me was like, oh, I wish I would have mixed my vocals better. At least with that song, I was like, I wish I would have fixed that. But no, it for me, like truth be told, like a lot of my songs are based on real life experiences. You know what I'm saying? Some people they can write from somebody. No, it was my own personal experiences. Fairy Tale is literally me dealing with a chick that was trying to break me down. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Don't you want to be in a healthy relationship? What's wrong with you? Break Your Heart was literally me dealing with a friend. And she's no longer my friend. She was mad at me because I wouldn't pursue her like I would these other goofy chicks. And she's like, well, why not me? And I was like, there's something different about you, and I'm not going to mess up our friendship. And she got mad. So, but it was just really relatable.
So what happened in episode 6?
Yeah. It was really, except for that part. I told her, I was like, I'm not even messing with you. And I liked her at one point. No, but with hearing it in episode 6, it was just like, I didn't know who the music supervisor was. I was like, oh, this is dope. That was it. I was like, yo, like you, at that point in time when I'm listening to it, I'm like, this person has a good ear to consider my music to be part of this scene. That's pretty cool. That's all I can really say for episode 3 and for episode 6 is that's pretty cool. Cause that's something I always you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see how or hear how it would sound or see how it would sound with my music on on a piece of on a visual like that. I always wanted to see something like that. It was cool. You see it with other people, and you're like, yo, I want to see something like that too. Just because it's something dope. But yeah, I was just like, again, like just even with the writing, the way it was just set up, it's like you don't expect. Like I didn't know that none of my stuff was gonna be played. I was just watching the
And
show.
that's why I was like, I started to tell everybody ahead of time, and I was like, no, I want y'all to be surprised like everybody.
Yeah, because
like I said, we literally went through so much music, but it was like people didn't know whether they were chosen or not until it aired. You know, like I think people might have been waiting to see what was going to happen. But besides the producers, the ones who actually like compose stuff, they knew because you know I sent them clips or whatever to compose to, but the artists didn't know.
Yeah, that makes
like
sense.
AJ didn't even know what I was going to use of his. So.
Oh wow. Yeah, when you think it from a producer perspective or like a composer, that makes sense for them to know what's going to be played because they're looking at the scene and they're like, okay, either I have something for it or I got to make something based on that scene. Exactly. Just like they do in TV. So that's something that we had to learn in school for audio production. For some reason, I don't know why, because you gotta like I go to Full Sail. So even though I'm in audio production, you still got to take like a few classes that are dealing with music production. So it's like, we want to teach you how to make music. I'm like, I know how to do that, but whatever. So, but what they was teaching us was that, hey, you may be in a position to create music for a video game, for a commercial, for a TV show, for a movie, and no lyrics are involved, but you have to look at the scene and then make your music express what the scene is looking at. So that makes sense for you to be like, hey, producer, so and so, this is what we did with your music. Okay. The rest of us, I think it was cool that you did it like that. I think it was cool because it's just like, if you were already watching the show, like I was already watching the show off AJ because that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's real cool. Shout out to, and to backtrack, shout out to Noble Vessel. That's the only reason why I know about any one of y'all was because of Noble Vessel. I've been knowing Noble Vessel since MySpace days.
Shout out to Noble.
He introduced me to Prep, and then he introduced me to Prep and AJ, and I was like, okay. And then when we did the album with me being featured on stuff, and AJ was hot, and I was like, oh nah, bro, we need to do some more stuff together. What you mean? So, but just to hear it, or excuse me, just to watch the show, I was watching just off the fact that that's my man. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, he's doing this. This is really interesting. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to support it. So while I'm watching, I'm like, oh, okay, you use my music. Oh, this is really, really dope. So I was really ecstatic. And it was just cool. It was just cool. I really want to see that. I want to see the series get picked up. Like I'm believing God that it's going to get picked up because it's really good. And to be honest, it gives. So I'll say it like this, and I hope I'm not making any black women or women in general feel some type of way. But it gives people a different perspective on a man's heart, if that makes sense. So even when they heard the music, it could have been like, oh, you just writing just because like a whole black man was dealing with this stuff, and now you're seeing that conveyed on TV. So, but it just the show itself conveys a man's heart that's not this stereotypical dude where he's overly brazen, he's disrespectful, he's cold-hearted, he's human. Right? He's human. And I'm like, and people are going to get to see that. And plus it paints black men in a certain perspective, like we're not this negative stereotype that we see within the realm of hip hop or any other show or movies that we watch where we're this stereotypical trope where we just want to have sex all the time and we got a whole bunch of baby mamas everywhere. Like, no, we know how to love correctly too. And we get hurt as well. And we got to move through our seasons of hurt and getting, you know what I'm saying, all these different things. And we have to move and go through like being healed from those different things. So like I believe that somebody's gonna pick it up. Somebody's gonna pick it up.
I hope so.
I don't know who was.
And I love what you said, because that was my main goal for the series. It's like I wanted it to represent the men that I know, like you, like AJ, like, you know, like Truth, like guys who are really, really good guys. They just get caught up, you know, like this is an instance of somebody you've been pining for forever, and you finally get that chance. And even though you know it might not be the most perfect situation, you're gonna go ahead and try to make it work. And you know, like literally, I was like, I've been on both sides of this coin. I've been a Shay and I've been an AJ. You know, like I've been on both sides. So
it's funny because like we understand that, you know what I'm saying? Because we see it and we see that narrative. So, but it's under the impression that it's all like that's natural, like it's going to always be like that, or it's like no, that's not true. We just don't say it. We won't talk about it. We'll take it to our deathbed being bitter, or we'll die based off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard this before, and I wonder about my granddad, because it bothered me. My mother's father, it bothered me. Like he died, but he had ulcers, and I was like, what were you holding on to? You know what I'm saying? Because I always thought highly of my grandfather, but I was like, what were you holding on to where you had ulcers, granddad? You know what I'm saying? And as far as black men is concerned, we're being told don't cry. So even behind closed doors, we don't want to cry. Even if nobody sees us, we don't want to cry. Hide your heart. Andre 3000 said it. Guard your heart. Guard your heart. 3 stats. Guard your heart. You know what I'm saying? And so we have that mindset as black men to like, nah, yo, I gotta now we have this persona like we're these other dudes where we don't really care about how you feel. We don't care about your feelings, and we just, you know what I'm saying? We just in it for ourselves when that's not the case. But we have to hold on. We have to hold our tongue, or we can't convey how we feel, or we can't show that we're frustrated. Or it's going to equate to just being this angry black man now, which is weird because the same thing kind of actually applies with black women as well, to where it's like they're just angry black women. It was like, no, it's other sentiments. You could just be frustrated. You can just be sick and tired. You can be desperate, but it looks like a face of anger. But there's other different emotions going on. So it's like we're dealing with both sides of it. And I'm really hoping that this show sparks healthy conversations, especially within the black. I really hope it does, to where it's like, oh, y'all deal with that too. Yeah. So how do you didn't say anything?
Because that's why I loved hearing from. I always wanted to hear from my guy friends, and I was like, how did y'all feel about it or whatever? And they're like, man, I went through the same, like this is my life. And I'm like, that's how, because we get to feel that way a lot of times. Like there are a lot of shows centered around women, not just black women, but women, period, going through relationships and stuff like that. Like I was talking about that the other day, you know, like Insecure is ending, but we have like Harlem and Run the World and all this other stuff. I was like, but like
that was weird.
Like there's
Harlem,
so many, but I'm like, I said to have the minute I read the book, and I was like, this needs to be something like this, you know, this resonates with me. Like these are my friends. Like this guy is my friend, not just AJ, but a lot of my friends who go through this stuff. And I'm one of those friends that they're talking to, like in episode 5, you know, and I'm like, you need to let that shit go, you know?
That was a solid friend. I was like, yo, you solid. I remember that.
AJ was like, AJ in real life, he was like, I just wanted one of those friends to tell me, go ahead and go after her, you know? And I was like, nope, none of us would have, you know. I wasn't one of those friends, but ain't no way I'm going to tell you to go after her after the way she did. No, forget her.
No, funny story. I wrote a song called I Can't Love You Like I Used To, and it's in reference, I don't think I sent that to you, but it's in reference to an ex-girlfriend I used to date at a church I went to before I moved here to San Antonio. And I don't want to say everything publicly, but basically a mother in the faith knew about the young lady, and then when everything went down, like she cheated on me. By the time the sister hit me up concerning the ex-girlfriend, I think the girl didn't get married yet. Because all this happened real quick. I started dating a girl I met her in like September. We started dating in November. She cheated on me in January. And then by like March or April, she was married the following year. That happened. Yeah, I can't make this up. This literally happened. So
Wow.
it took like a couple years to really heal from that because I thought that chick was it. I was like, when you're dealing with your preferences and stuff like that, you see something like, oh yeah, this fits exactly. Okay. But what happened was the following year, the mother in the faith, she called me because she called me and she was like, yo, I'm so sorry about what happened. And I was like, thank you for hitting me up. And, she was telling me, she's like, it's sad when we're teaching people how to be when it comes to love and, being in the faith and relationships, and they don't adhere to what we're trying to help them with because they knew her story. I'm not going to tell the story. I'll talk about her story in my podcast, so we ain't going to do all that. But what she told me was, you bet not wait on that girl. That's literally how she said it. She said, you better not wait on that girl. I said, yes, ma'am. And I sure didn't.
You ain't got to tell me twice.
Look, Shorty got married. And then a few months later, she hit me up and apologized about stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And we talked about it. And I was like, okay, you just wanted what you wanted. Cool. And then it got to hey, yo, things are rough with me and my husband. I wonder what would happen had you died with me. I was like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. So, but it took me a couple of years because at that point in time, I was still in my healing process. And I think she understood, like, Gerard, I know Gerard still loves me or still wants to be with me. The dude that I'm with ain't doing what I want him to do, but I know Gerard can do it. And I was like, you need to stay away from me, especially because you're married now. You need to stay away from me.
Right.
So I ended up writing the song, I Can't Love You Like I Used to. So, but ultimately, that's why I appreciate your show. I appreciate Situationships. I appreciate it so much because it's almost like a letter from the good dudes.
Right. I love that.
It's a letter from the good dudes. Like, look, like how I saw some stuff. It was like, dear future husband, I talk back, I do this. I'm like, bro. Okay, so this is like, don't tell me your passionate stuff, especially if you ain't trying to work on it. But it's dear future wife. These are the things that I dealt with. These are the things I'm trying to heal through. This is what I'm going through. These are my experiences. But I want to let you know that I still want to love correctly. I want to love my future wife correctly. But these are the things I dealt with, and I want you to understand that by the time we meet, hopefully I'll be able to. I would have combated those things, so I can greatly appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? It's a letter.
Oh,
it's a letter. So it's dope. It's dope.
Speaking of which, how did you feel about the ending? Without giving it away, if nobody has seen it yet, y'all should have seen it by now. But how did you feel about the ending?
The ending, you know what? I put it like this. I wish I would have just kept going.
we wish we could have kept going too.
That's pretty much it. Like that. Okay, that's the best thing I can say. Cause it's like, you know how like you see a show and it's really good and then they cancel it. You're like, oh, oh, why did you cancel it? I need more information. I need more details. Like,
I need
more.
So
what happened with this other person? What happened with this random person? What happened with this? What happened? Oh, you mean that she? Oh, man. Oh, what? So it's like, but it's like, it's one of those shows where you want it, at least for me, it's like, I wanted it to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say without giving it away. That's the best way. That's the best thing I can say is, I wanted the show to keep going because I wanted more additional things. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know, you think about shows like that, and so, I mean, because it was a really good show. Now, you got some shows where it's just like, what? But it's like, nah, this needs to keep going. I'm really hoping that y'all keep like adding on to it, like have another series, like another season. Excuse me, another season. Because
yeah, we've talked about it. We've talked about like what the next chapter would be and stuff. So, but yeah, well, that's why I hope it get, you know, when we do these festival runs, somebody with a budget will bring us a
yeah,
we'll be like, here,
yeah,
make another season, and then we
that'd be
can make it
dope.
happen.
I'm really, and I've been watching too. Y'all got didn't y'all get picked up for one of a couple of the festivals? Like they,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're now selected for 3 festivals. Like we did the Lake Charles Film Festival, AJ's New Home in Lake Charles,
Okay.
Louisiana back in October, and we won 3rd prize in web series for
Okay.
that. And then we have 2 more. One is in January, and then the other is like next. The festival season is crazy because like you'll submit like right now, but the festival is until like next summer. It's just weird. So we've entered
Yeah.
a lot of them, and we're waiting on like feedback or you know whether or not we got in, and we'll be hearing from people till March. So yeah, so we've already been accepted into 3, so we're waiting to see how many
I'm
more
excited.
will be picked up. So I'm
I'm really
excited for that.
excited because I feel as though again, like even I guess we're kind of like still dealing with the Me Too movement and other different narratives going on. So it's almost it's something. It's another word I want to use, but I can't think of it. But essentially, it's something different. You know what I'm saying? Versus what we're accustomed to seeing. Um, I think the closest things like that, as far as like a men's perspective, where it's like interesting or it's wholesome or it's healthy for the most part, or as a man, I think of like your brown sugars. Well, that don't really count because Sydney was a narrator, so never mind. Or like your
I was inspired by it though. That was one of my inspirations. So
what
that
is it?
makes
Oh,
sense.
Brown Sugar. Brown Sugar is my
Mm-hmm.
favorite movie. I love that movie. Oh, Hitch. Hitch is one. What is The Wood? That's another one where
Mm-hmm.
he's dealing with kind of like a young man in his youth, and now he's an adult and stuff like that. Those type of films, like you don't really see stuff like that, where it's like, oh, the good dude actually got the girl, not like he's in his action film and he's showing all his, you know what I'm saying, heroic feats, and now he gets the girl. It's like, nah, it's this regular schmegular dude, and somehow he
Right.
got the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really. I don't know why I thought about Doug. I'm old, like Doug Funny from Nickelodeon.
Yes. Oh.
That or what other is Doug Funny. He sticks out. Well, of course you got like Family Matters with Laura
And
and
Steve.
Steve. I still prefer him to be with Myra, just because like their
Me
dynamic was
too.
like
I always did.
great.
I was like, even though
So
Myra was very extra, she really loved her some Steve.
she did, and it made Laura feel some type of way, and I was like, good, good. You should feel salty. Look at you. Okay, I think I woke my daughter up. Come here, girl. Okay, you
Y'all go
good, but I'm
follow
gonna have to change your
Gerard
diaper.
on
Please
his
and thank you.
Instagram. Go follow
I
him.
appreciate it.
And hopefully
I
he's
do
working
engage.
now that he's all inspired and stuff. He'll be working on some new
Yeah,
music.
yeah. I'm working on a couple songs. It's another song I'm working on. It's a weird song. It's a weird song. Basically, it sounds so corny, but I'm talking about I'm insinuating. I say it like that, but I'm talking about my wife and I, and it's our daughter, and and basically I'm saying like we already made a child and she's beautiful. Hey, let's practice making another one without actually making one. So
So
look, man.
let's just do the baby making stuff without the baby.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. But you know, you got to word it a certain way so people in this generation get it or whatever. So it's for me when I'm writing it, it's funny to me. But I'm like, I got to make this sound a certain way to where they're like, okay, I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody is married, and I mean, it ain't my position to judge people. Like, you grown, you got to answer to God for yourself. Good luck. But for the most part, I know I'm going to be talking about marriage, but overall, the theme is, dang girl, you look good. I look all right. Oh, we can make some pretty kids. Let's practice like we're about to make some kids. It sounds funny hearing it. It sounds funny hearing it.
I hope those aren't
But
the
like,
lyrics.
no, it's not like that. Not the lyrics don't actually say that. But in layman's terms, that's what I'm saying. I don't have any game. So I spend all of my energy is like into writing songs. So I'll say something dope that I'll probably never say to anybody. Like this stuff I didn't even say. I never said to my wife. I was just like, no, babe, you look good. Like, but if I'm writing a song, I'm writing all this eloquent, nice, you know what I'm saying, wordplay stuff. But like, I just won't say it because I don't know. I won't say it. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
Your wife might like to hear some of them sexy lyrics.
I don't know. Ah! She can listen to the music. She does. She actually likes my music, so it works out.
Oh,
It works out.
did she
It
watch
works
the
out.
series? Did she get to hear your music in the series?
No. Actually, I don't even think I told her about it. I don't know why. I just didn't. Not that I can remember.
You
I probably need
must have her watch it and let her be surprised. Does she know that song? Does she know either of the songs?
I think she's heard. No, she hasn't heard. She's heard Fairy Tale before. It felt she just heard the song period before the show or anything like that. It felt some
You
type
just
of
pull
way,
up
and I was
episode
like,
3 and be like, watch this with me.
nah.
And let her be
I want her to watch.
surprised when she hears.
I want her to watch the whole thing because she'll watch a show.
Oh, yeah, sir. You could be in. You could be in too.
Yeah, she'll be invested. I know that she'll be invested. So I'll have her watch the show and see what she thinks.
Yes.
I'll probably sneak my phone in and do some type of a live reaction to where she don't know she's being recorded.
Yes. I can't believe. Yeah, you definitely got it. So she could hear, something that you've been working for. And I'm sure, it'll be even more. That's what I always tell people, the producers I work with and I consult, I always push them towards music licensing and getting to know music supervisors and filmmakers and stuff. Because this is exactly how it happens at the indie level. Literally, like, we don't have like label connections and so we're working directly with the artist or directly with the composer or whatever. And
I think that's dope. Because that's exactly what I want to do.
Literally, like, I need music. And then people send me music and then I pick it and put it in there. And then, people get to hear your music and be like, okay, oh my gosh, that song. Because that's all anybody talks about. I felt so bad for Selah. I was like, I thought the poetry was going to be the main talking point and everybody was talking about the music.
Well, because let's real quick. Selah is actually a dope MC and he's a dope poet.
Yes.
So
yes,
his poetry played a part in him. It was the narrative. He was the narrator. So his poetry. So I can get why people are like, oh, I like the music more than the poetry. I can only from the perspective of it's like hearing somebody narrate the story. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like
what's that song? What's that with it? And I felt so bad because I was like, I don't know what's on the internet and what's not or whatever. I'm just using the music. I just want y'all to watch the series and stuff. So people were like, "Well, I need that song. What's that song?"
It's good though. It's good though because now we're creating something. Even in the digital world, in the digital age, we're creating something organically to where people have to go and look for us. Mm-hmm. So it's a twofold thing. Hey, yo, I can't find this song, but this song is on this show, on this episode. Now they're watching the show and now they're listening for the song. And then now they're like, yo, I like this particular artist. Let me see who he or she is. You know what I'm saying? Or let me write something in the comments. Who is this artist? And now they're going and doing their own due diligence. It's almost like it's a weird form of crate diving. Like how DJs, when they would go in the crates and look for records. Now you got music lovers doing their own type of crate diving, but they're doing it on the internet, trying to find these artists. So it works out. it works out. They enjoy the show. They enjoy how the music is being used. And they're like, yo, one, I can relate to what was happening in the show. And then the music is like, okay, well, I never heard this before. Of course you haven't heard it before. So, yeah, it's really
people
dope.
Were like, where do you find these songs? I was like, in my inbox and on this thumb drive that Taylor gave me or whatever. I was like, yeah. And when I think I sent him the rough draft of episode 3 because that was like his favorite or whatever. And I think I sent him just that clip maybe. Yeah. And I was like, this is the song that I decided to use. And he was like, the way it came in.
It was. So how did he feel about it? Because I mean, like, it's him not on the song.
Man, he was like, it came in because all I saw in my mind was like, I want the drone shots that I loved. I was like, I want these drone shots. I want him like speeding off. And when I edited when I just got the raw footage and put your song to it or whatever, I was like, man, this is about to be epic.
Yeah. You
don't even understand. I don't even like editing. So when I get excited about editing, it's just like, yes, this must happen. And then, and then when it faded out just long enough for him to say, you know, me too or whatever and stuff. And I was just like,
it was perfect.
It was
like
perfect.
I said, I always call that scene the drive of shame.
The drive of shame. He was just
because you're so mad.
I was like, and I know, because you're going to cry in the car and then you're going to go home and you're going to drink it away.
Yeah. I've done that before. Just man, this chick playing, bro. Like, what's going on?
I can't believe I fell for this. Like, man.
Yeah. And you're going through. It was perfect because it almost came off as if, because he didn't say anything when he was driving, but you see it all on his face. So it was almost as if like the lyrics were him. Like he's rehearsing that conversation, and then it's almost like he's rehearsing what I could have said to her, what I should have said to her, and what I'm feeling at the same time. So it worked out well.
It did. I was excited. And then when I heard Break Your Heart, and I was like, because I didn't know, at first I wasn't going to put any music at the end of 6. I thought about that. And then I was just like, no, I kind of need like something after this, you know, like, it's a little incomplete without music and stuff. Because I was like, there was just this big moment. She walked off. He literally just like crushed her in front of an audience and whatever. Yeah. But because AJ was like, why did you do it like that? And I was like, have you ever been in a situation of situationship? Have you ever been in a situation where there's this person who really likes you and you know that you are not in the space to give them what they need, and sometimes you just have to literally break them. You have to say mean things to them to get them to let go. Yeah. I was like, I've had that before. I was like, you don't get it. You're still around and you don't understand that I'm not what you need right now. I'm not it.
Yeah. Yeah. That literally happened. Like with my ex-friend, that happened. I remember I had a conversation probably before Prep sent me the beat with my homeboy. And I was like, I'm going to have to break her heart now. Versus me being with her later on and then just be like, man, I really didn't want to be with you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And those were, that was a real life situation. And I was like, bro, I've been through that. I've been with chicks that sort of kind of like me, but really didn't like me and wasted my time. Now, why would I do you like that? Okay, be mad at me now. Right. Just be mad at me now. I'd rather you be, like I said, I'd rather break your heart now. What I had to do to somebody.
Because I was like, he was a good dude, and I didn't want him to become a bad dude because of me playing with him.
Exactly.
You know?
So, but see, what's interesting is that I'm not. Okay, baby, I'm not supporting a lot of the foolishness that men do, but I think that particular scene was showing that you can't per se, when you saw the whole story that led up to that point, you can't just be like, oh, see, all men are like this. It's like, no, some men are really like that because they don't care about you. But then some men care about you to where it's like, I have to be this way in order to not drag you into something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna have to hurt you because you're not picking up what I'm putting down. I'm telling you,
Right.
I told you out the gate, I'm not looking for something serious. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? We just here. And even if we do anything else, I don't want a relationship with you. That is not, you're not in a position to think that you're going to change my mind, because my mind doesn't want to be changed right now. And so we're seeing where some women are like, because I've heard conversations, well, but I thought I was cute enough. Like, it didn't matter. He told you out the gate, this is what it is. It is not your job, because you're not, I'll say it like this. It's not your job to pursue him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, that's kind of what she was doing. He was like, yo, what are you doing? What are you really doing?
Because he was like, look, I'm damaged goods. He told her from the jump.
Yeah.
Like, look, this is what you need to know about me. You make your decision. She decided to walk through the door, literally. With him.
But that's because she thought that she was going to change him. That's why. Yeah. Like, he was a project.
I've been that girl. I'm like, if I love him enough, he can, it'll change him. He'll, leave this. No, you got to let him heal, honey. Let him heal by himself.
Yep. And so, like, actually, before my wife, I was dating a chick like that. And I was like, yo, why are you? One, I was like, if you're like this, why are you even with me? And we were friends. I was friends with her since like 2008. And I was like, yo, what happened to you? But because I was like, if you're like this, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship right now, because I want something healthy. And you're thinking that being toxic is okay. You're telling me that being dysfunctional is okay. And I'm supposed to be okay with that? Nah, that's not even why you're dating me. You're dating me because I'm bringing something to you that's healthy. That doesn't make any sense. So with my ex-friend, I had this literally happened. I was messing with a chick that was married. I was under the impression that she was getting a divorce, because that's what she told me. And she lied.
Been there too.
And so, yo, man, I was crushed. I was like, bro,
weird people lie so much, man.
Look, man. Like, I'll be honest with you. When I was married before, when I was a kid, I was like 20. Like, when I was doing stuff, I told the I wouldn't lie. I'm like, this is what's going on with me. This is what I'm doing. This is my situation with my now ex-wife. I told him everything. You like me? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave it up to you to make a decision and dealing with me. If you don't want to deal with me, I am okay. If you do, just know that you made that choice. But I was open. Like, this is what's going on. So I didn't want to lie. I was like, why am I going to lie for? That's just extra foolishness. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you. No, but with this chick, what happened? Okay, baby. So what happened was the friend, she was my friend. I'm telling her what's going on. Okay, baby. I'm telling her what's going on. And so she said, well, how come you can't give me a chance? And I was like, because this is different. Okay, baby. I'm not going to put it on camera. Sorry.
Okay.
Trying to do it like that. Okay, you're going to have to sit down, mama.
She's trying to be nosy.
Yeah, she is, because she want to look at the phone. Ooh, you didn't go caca, but you stink. She farted.
Yep.
So, but, yeah, so I told the sister that, and she a few times sent me some like 4-page letters about how she felt, about me hurting her feelings. And I was like, there's nothing I can say. I have to let her get it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's going to be mad. You made me feel like this. I'm like, I'm not going to argue with her. I'm just going to let her tell me how she feels. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't me being a jerk. I was like, no, she has to get this out. Because she has to move, you know what I'm saying, move forward with her life. I still believe that she has a husband, you know what I'm saying, that God has for her. It ain't me. And I knew it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even in spite of my dumb decisions of dealing with other chicks, I knew, I was like, nah, not you. I knew that. Because God, I mean, I ain't trying to be preachy here. But at one point, I did like her. I prayed about it. And God was like, nope. And I was like, why not? I was mad. I'm like, oh, she fits what I'm looking for. And then we had a conversation. And I was asking her questions. And she was like, nope. And I said, okay, God, that's why you told me no. Cool.
Right.
So then, yeah. But, yeah, I was just like, She's like, well, why not me? I was like, 'cause God said no, bro. Like, that's not an excuse. Like, I understand how important whatever you got, whatever is going on in your life is so important to where I can't be involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, I had to do that 2 different times. I never wrote a song about it. I probably should, but I have a high school sweetheart, known her since I was like 15. A lot of stuff happened simultaneously alongside the chick I used to date that I went to church with. So with the high school sweetheart, she was messing with this dude, and she told me about him, and she told me what was going on with him, and I was like, okay. And at this point, I'm single. She's like, but Gerard, what? She's like, I'll leave him for you in a minute. I was like, nah, not this time. I was like, nah, not this time. No, because we were kids when we met each other. So it was like that whole quote unquote puppy dog love thing, high school sweetheart thing. I want to be with you forever. Some old, like we were on some stuff like, let me see. When I was a kid, I was scared because I really cared about her, this particular girl. I was scared I was going to cheat. So I was like, look, man, I'm not going to talk to you. I said, I'm like, because who knows what's going to happen to me while I'm in Korea and you're still here in the States. But when I get back, we're just going to get back together. That did not happen in real life. We talked about it like it was going to happen, but it didn't. So then fast forward, I get married. She's get married. My ex-wife has a kid. I didn't have any kids. So that's her son. And then the ex-girlfriend, the high school sweetheart, she ends up getting married, having 2 kids. She's going through stuff with her marriage. Now, then she gets divorced. Now, fast forward, she's with this dude. And she's like, look, man, I'll leave this dude for you in a minute. And I was like, not this time. You need to move forward with your life. And we need to let this go. And even for me, the reason I was saying we had to let this go, because truth be told, well, again, I'm a believer, but with her, everything was so frighteningly perfect. I was afraid that I was going to forget about God. That's weird to hear. That's really weird to hear. Like even with my marriage, like my wife and I will argue, but you know what I'm saying? We'll come back together and we'll talk. But with me and this other chick, it was like unfair easy. Like if you ever played video games that had the cheat code, it was like that. But for real, I've never had anything like that before in my life. But I knew that I'm not going to be as dedicated in my relationship to God if I actually, as an adult, get with her. Like, cause like I paid for a divorce, for her to divorce her baby dad, cause he was cheating on her and doing all this other stuff. I was like, hey, let me give you some money. Cause once she was my friend too, I was like, let me give you this money so you can get this divorce and then we'll figure it out. And some stuff happened. He was still trying to fight it. He was determined to not have her, more so not get with me. He was like, you can get with anybody else. You get with Gerard, it's going to be a problem. And I was like, I don't know what's so special about me. Besides nostalgia. That's about it. Nostalgia, that's it. But, okay, babe, I know you, yeah. So, but even with her, I was like, no, you need to move forward with your life with this dude. And she was mad at me. And she got even more upset with me. She went forward with it. I found out maybe like my daughter, she's sitting there farting. But she moved forward, and then I found out she was pregnant. I was like, well, how long you been pregnant for? And the amount of time she was pregnant for, I was like, that was the time you was talking about leaving this dude with me. You were already pregnant. Nah. I did the right thing.
Wow.
And fast forward to that, she had an engagement party. She wanted me, because she's from the Midwest. We're both from the Midwest. She wanted me to go back up north to you know what I'm saying, be at the engagement party and meet the dude. And I was like, no, count me out. I was like, you need to really just kind of like forget about me. And I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I was just like, if you're focused on wanting to be with this dude, I no longer need to be in the picture. And she was mad at me about it. She was really mad at me about it. I was like, my homeboy was like, nah, man. She was trying to see if she can, you know what I'm saying, do X, Y, Z with you before she moves forward. Because we never did that. Like, we came close to it as kids and even as like young adults, but I was, for some weird reason, I was just like, I can't. I don't know why I couldn't, because I was dealing with some goofy chicks. But I was like, I couldn't. I was like, I can't. The most I could ever do is like really just like make out with her. But I was like, I can't. I was like, you need to like move forward with your life. And she was mad, but she's good now. She's super good. She's super happy. And I'm like, cool, good. But you needed to, I needed to hurt your feelings in order for you. It goes along with what Kami said in the song, like, for you to grow, he had to go. So why you stopping him for? You know what I'm saying? That's what he said in the song. And so in her case, like, I had to move on with my life, and so did she. And now she's in not saying that we weren't going to have a healthy relationship, but she's in a relationship that's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It fits. It fits I would say it fits whatever narrative God has for those two, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I had to break her heart too. You know what I'm saying? But it was in a different way of breaking her heart. You know what I'm saying? It was like, no, you need to move on. You with somebody. But with the other sister, I was like, I'm not into you like I used to be. I'm going to end up treating you like these other chicks treated me. That's not fair. That's not fair to you. More so, not really me, but more so you. Like, I'm looking out for you. Trust me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's why I tell guys, because they're like, oh, these women, they always pick, you know, the woman I'm interested in always picks this other dude. And I was like, sometimes she's doing you a favor. Sometimes it's really not.
She really is.
It's really not the heartbreak you think it is. She's doing you a favor.
She might not realize she's doing you a favor, but hindsight, she's doing you the hugest favor. There's a chick I went on a few dates with. She's Dominican. And I say that for a reason, because that's kind of like my lane. Like, I like Caribbean women. Like, my wife, she's Jamaican and Belizean. It don't matter. It really doesn't matter, because character is character at the end of the day. Trust me, it just
But you have a type, is what you're saying.
But I have a type. So, and truth be told, even though my wife is Belizean and Jamaican, like, you wouldn't tell. She ain't got no accent. She wasn't born in neither one of the countries. I was like, man, all right. So God is just funny like that. God is really funny. She knows about the culture, and she's visited those countries before, though. But like, she was never like born and raised there, so it's different. But this chick, we went on a few dates, and I remember she was like, "What are you looking for?" I told her what I was looking for, and she said, "Man, I can't fit that." She said, "I can't be that." That's what she said. "Oh man, I can't be that." And she stopped talking to me. And I felt so crushed. I was like, why did she do that? I haven't spoken to her since 2014. Like, I seen her like a couple years ago, because she's friends with my homeboy, and his grandmother died. So by the time I met my wife and was dating her, I saw the chick again. And we saw each other and just didn't say anything. Like, we just didn't. It wasn't like no bitter thing or just being goofy or weird. It was just like, I see you, you see me. Okay. And just kept moving. Yeah, mama. So for a while, I was like, why did she do that? And then I started dating other chicks, and they were just doing some weird stuff. And I remember I did a podcast talking about this. I said, that chick did me the hugest favor. She basically said, I don't fit what you're looking for, and I'm not going to force you to basically conform to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to force you to change your desire, what you're actually looking for in a wife, just because I want to have my fun with you, or I want to be in a relationship. Or she just didn't want to conform. She was like, I'm not finna do that, and I'm not finna waste. I didn't catch that. She didn't say it like that, but I can't be that. Said enough for me, and I realized that with other chicks, they weren't doing that. They were just like, I like you. You fit what I'm looking for. I know I don't fit what you're looking for, but I don't care because I'm cute. And I know you want me. So basically, and so that was basically, I mean, they didn't say it like that, but that was the unspoken things. So in other conversations, it's, why are you acting like that? I'm talking like, you know, I'm a good dude. Why you being like that? Oh, well, just accept me for me. It's like, but bro, no, I don't want to accept you for you. Like, if I did you like that, you be mad. Well, why would you do that for? Okay, so why are you doing this? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I learned that from that chick. Like, she was just like, I don't fit, and I'm gonna leave you alone. Oh, thank you. You did me a huge favor. So yeah, like
Right.
a lot of
She
our
was like,
brokenheartedness
let's not waste either one of our time. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You've had a lot of situationships too, so I'm glad you out of that now.
Yeah. Oh man, praise God. Look, it
You have
was
been delivered
rough.
from the situation.
Look now. I could have had this little girl with some other chick, and I probably wouldn't been able to see my daughter. So look at God. Look, man. It's real. Okay, baby.
I'm finna let him go so you can have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me tonight. You know, it was
Yeah.
impromptu.
I'm sorry.
I
I talk a
interrupted
lot too.
your homework.
Mm-mm.
You know,
No, I talk a lot, so I'm sorry.
it is okay. It is okay. It's
Yeah.
interesting because it was like we didn't get to chat during the season and
Mm.
everything. So I definitely wanted. I was like, yeah, if he's here and wants to talk, come on.
Oh, I'm a
So people
talker.
can,
That's why I was like,
so
sorry.
people can see you, see the voice that they've been loving. They can see your face.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a haircut, but yeah.
Well, thank you for the music, and thank you for your time and your
Yeah.
support of the series. And yes, just keep putting those vibes out there that the right eye sees this project
Yeah.
and can take it to the next level. Like we trying to be an Insecure, from awkward girl to
No.
Insecure. That's what we trying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I believe it. I see it. I see it happening. I really do. Okay, young lady. All right. Let me go ahead and get out of
All
here. Thank you.
right. Good night.
All right. Yeah, good night. All right, baby. All right. Bye.
Awesome chat. Yeah. You see, we all have situationship stories. We all have them. We all have been in something or survived something that brought us to, whether it is a better understanding of what we want, what we don't want, or to, a healthy relationship. So I hope that's what a lot of people got out of the series, that even with all that went on, even with, Shay tripping and Selah eventually tripping, they eventually got it right. I hope, they got it right. So thank you. That was fun, Gerard. Thank you so much. So yeah, y'all go follow him. Is it Gerard Kenneth on all social media? Is it the same on all social media? Go follow him. Go on put like your SoundCloud links or Bandcamp or whatever, wherever your music is. Go follow him, and we'll be talking. I'm glad that we got to talk on Music Monday too. We'll be talking to some of the producers and composers on Saturday night for our chat. So tune in there too, Gerard. Maybe you can come on and chat with us. We'll be on Zoom that night. Since we had all these technical difficulties on Facebook tonight. But that was so much fun. It was great to hear his story and his reaction to the series and his music being used in the series. Cause like I said, this is my everything that I create is music driven. I think that's because I'm a child of the MTV generation and seeing how MTV infused music into every single thing that was on the network. So now I'm, every single thing I do, and I love doing music videos, but everything I do with the music is important to me. And in my MFA program, a lot of the stuff we did was no dialogue, silent films or little dialogue. So the music had to be what carried the narrative. And so now it's in everything I do. And I knew at the beginning, it was just like, okay, I want like a song to end in the credits, to carry through the credits. And the song has to be something that resonates with a theme of the, like a certain theme or a certain part of the episode and stuff like that. So yeah, when I heard those two songs, and I don't think either one was what he submitted, and he submitted some great songs. It was just, it really came down to what it fit, like literally I would put in the edit, I would put the song down and let it play and see how it played out and if I got the same feeling. And it was just like how it made me feel when watching it over the visuals. And that's how I decided. And then KJ broke some of the ties for me. But definitely those two songs were like, that's it. So I'm thankful for AJ and his thumb drive. I'm thankful that y'all met so that you can be a part of our series. And yeah, just celebrating like this. Like I said, this past Saturday made 6 months since our premiere of our first episode, and this Saturday makes 1 year since we got fully funded. So thanks to our supporters and everybody who helped us get it done. And one thing that he talked about that a lot of people talked about as well was the fact that they were like, man, I wish the episodes had been longer. I wish this, And when you go into a project, you have a budget. And I always have a budget of like, this is how much it takes to get it done. Maybe not exactly how we want to, but this is what it takes to get it done and to tell the story we want to tell. And then you have that budget where it's like, this is what would make it like super awesome, just pop it. And yeah, we got the budget to get it done. So